Taxi and I, Taxi's the owner, Mossy Oak. We were in there on the phone with Hank Parker. He fell out of a tree stand, and we were kind of just checking on him. He's doing great. He's a warrior. But in the conversation, he's a North Carolina guy. He kind of made it clear to us just how bad things are in North Carolina. He'd been up there doing some help. And we got through, and Taxi looked at me and said, "Man, we got to do something." I said, "Put me in, coach." About 4, 5, 6 That's a lot of groceries, ain't it? Yeah. Y'all helping me out, I appreciate it. We about to make a little run up there with basic needs. I'm lucky enough to have some contacts up there with the game and fish, so we have a plan in place. And Toxie told me a couple of things. He said, stuff everything you can get into the van and don't be making a bunch of posts. So here's the first post. We'll see how that goes with my boss. I think it's 10:41 maybe Eastern time. We're supposed to get to our spot probably around 3. That's what we're shooting for if all goes well. But anyway, our Penske van's more like a Mercedes. My son-in-law has refused to let me drive at this point. Maybe he thinks I'm too old, but I'm loving that. But anyway, if all goes well, we should be empty this van by about 4 or 5 o'clock, and we're going to try to make it to Ashville. We got a hunting buddy up there who happens to be the battalion fire chief, and he wants us to come up there and see what all they got going on. And if we can get to there, we're going to find their fire station and bring them some happies too. So anyway, we get there, I'll post you some pictures and try to show you what's really happening up there. But at this point, we made it through Atlanta, so that's a good thing. We're rolling. We're about an hour and a half from our location, but things have changed. It's like we stopped at the gas station trying to fill up before we get there, and we actually have a couple extra gas cans we won't take with us. But we pulled up here, every pump was full with 3 or 4 or 5 vehicles. It took us a while, but we're gonna fill up to the Penske and then fill up our gas cans and head on in.
In western North Carolina, we are seeing catastrophic flooding. That includes Asheville, North Carolina.
Just over the mountains, much of Asheville, North Carolina is underwater this afternoon.
I-40 shut down in both directions between Tennessee and North Carolina.
The French Broad River is reaching record levels near the Biltmore Estate.
The Buncombe County Sheriff says its office received more than 1,000 missing persons reports. Thousands of people are still without power and water. Areas of the city are completely underwater, trapping people without basic supplies.
We get there, and I have a pin dropped where we're going, and there was a game warden buddy of mine I met up at the Turkey Symposium in North Carolina. He said, "Here's where I would go." He's on the ground, and it was a town called Spruce Pine, and it's north and east of Asheville. So we had to drive through Asheville. I was scared we couldn't even get through there at that point. And so you kind of flying by the seat of your pants, but we got through Asheville, no problems, really. I mean, it was traffic because, I-40 shut down from this point to that point, but we were going north. We were not going east and west. But we finally made it to Spruce Pine. All right, introduce yourself.
Casey Cook, police chief here in Spruce Pine, North Carolina.
This man is the busiest man you've ever seen in your life, and we rolled up and he took care of us. There's literally hundreds of trucks and trailers and stuff here, and I saw the badge and all that stuff, walked over, he said, and I told him what I had, and he said, "Follow me." We came to the First Baptist Church, and they helped us get unloaded. So God bless you,
Yes,
Chief.
sir. We appreciate everything you've done for us.
Thank you, brother. I appreciate you. All right, day 2 of the mission. We're in Ashville, and I follow a guy on Facebook who sent me a private message, and he just so happens to be the battalion chief in the fire department up here. His name's Adam Wilson, and he kind of helped. And there's another guy, Andrew Hilton, who's a game warden. They made sure we got to the right place. We ended up in Spruce Pine, but we're gonna go with the battalion chief, and we after I checked in with Toxie, he said, are you done? Can you do some more? So we came up with the idea, we're gonna feed him steaks. He's got 26 people under him right now. They're doing stuff. He's fixing to ride us around. But me and Ricky, we went to Sam's this morning, and guess how many steaks they had in the counter? 26. So we're gonna drop them off, and we're gonna ride around with him, and he's gonna kind of give us a skinny from their perspective. So we about to go meet the battalion chief, Adam Wilson. Battalion Chief Adam.
Yeah.
Thank you, my brother.
Thank you.
For letting us
Thank you for
come up
coming.
here and bug you. I know the timing's bad, but you helped us get through this with some really good directions and insight.
Yeah, it's a little hard to get in here right now. It's a little tight. Everything's shut down. So.
Well, we appreciate it. We're not gonna keep you long, but everybody wants to know. And look, if you want to know what's going on, you ask the first responder. Is that right?
Yes, sir.
So
Yep.
thank you for some time.
Yep. Well, let's get in the truck and I'll go show you around.
All right.
We got New Jersey Task Force 1 is tied to us, so they're a top 1 FEMA USAR team. So they come with water assets, structural collapse assets, their own command structure, and a pile of trucks. And I'll show you that this evening. Some of those are getting demoed to go to Florida because they're getting ready to get hit again. So some of those guys ain't even gonna go home. They've spent 2 weeks with us, and they're gonna end up in
Florida. It's gonna hit there in the next 2 or 3 days.
Yeah. I mean, I think the only thing that's saving us is a cold front that's moving in tonight. It's keeping the thing pushed south.
Adam was the guy that got us in the right place, and when we got there, it was a lot of going on and all that. But when I got my boots on the ground, and I told the guys that when I was coming, I was talking to. Finally found the police chief and all that, and I said, look, I just got food and water, some pretty cool supplies. I can't fly no helicopter or nothing else, but he said, no, just follow me. And we went to a church down there, and it was people everywhere. And what it felt like to me was 9/12, the day after 9/11. It didn't matter who you voted for, it didn't matter what you looked like. It was like, hand me this, do that, and it was humbling, and that's why I wanted to take a few pictures, and because there's great Americans everywhere. There's one sitting right there. Adam, I follow him on Facebook for the hunting stuff. He's got a family, they hunt, and we comment back and forth, talking about his son killed his first deer with a crossbow, and I was like, see, that's the kind of people that tote the country on their back every day, but you don't see them on the news. But God bless them. And we can't do much. They got a control of it right there. But we brought them some steaks up here. They're gonna have one good meal. They've been here a week, and I bet you they've been eating out of bags and cans.
Styrofoam boxes.
That's it. So they're gonna get one good meal out of it. And sometimes it's as much about the message as it is the money. But the devastation is real. It's unbelievable. But let me tell you something. These people up here can handle it.
Stay, but the rooms are kind of like over there, and they were about 200 yards up the road rescuing people, and we were back here where this cop car was at. The main channel of the river was so nasty and fast we couldn't cross it, but we had an ambulance that ended up getting stuck in the water up where that tractor and trailer was going there. But we came down Biltmore Avenue behind us, figured out we couldn't access it, and was trying to get to this bridge over here. And when we turned, we probably sat there for a minute, maybe took us a minute, turned around to go back up Biltmore Avenue, and there was a tree that had fallen across the road right behind us.
Oh my word.
That me and you couldn't reach around. That, you know, had blocked our path out. We ended up finding another route out, but it had to have fallen just right as
you went by.
Yeah. But that was what was crazy about this storm, is usually we're dealing with water or we're dealing with wind. We were dealing with both.
We rented a van filled with everything you can think of. Well, thank God, somehow, he messaged me on Facebook. And now we've been best friends for 3 days, but he weaved me right where we needed to be. First part of it was rescue. He told me some stories, and I ain't gonna pass along. It just, you know, when you hear stuff like that, and it's like when you watch TV about whatever, some news story. You see that stuff now everywhere on social media. You get numb, like it ain't even real. It was a trip that I'll never forget, very humbling. And like I say, you know, people are good. People are solid. And like I say, we were all the same, except for the knuckleheads. And you know who I'm talking about. But man, it was an eye-opening thing. And so glad I got to meet some of those first responders, you know, because they're used to dealing with people that have had the loss.
Right.
I don't know that I could even handle that. What I could handle was giving them a handshake and a pat on the back saying thank you.